Hello everyone, I'm Marina and that's Sakramel School. Many beginner nail techs make a range of mistakes. And that's fine, because no one is a pro from the very beginning of something. In today's video, we will take a look at those mistakes and I will teach you how to avoid them. Let's get into it. Here are today's nails, and I'm sure you can see some mistakes. If you can't, don't worry, I will talk about all of them. Just note that this manicure was done by a beginner nail tech. My model's friend did her best to do her nails. Well, I didn't get it whether that friend was self-taught or not, or she just watched some tutorials. Here we can see that the nail length is different, a thick layer of gel, cracks in the ingrown points, and on the index finger, the skin is badly cracked due to an allergy to a cleaning product. My model admitted to doing her chores without gloves. So I'd like to warn you against it, and if you work with aggressive cleansers, make sure to wear gloves to avoid such cracks, because not only do they look bad, but they also hurt. So now my model needs to use a healing cream to moisturize and cure this dry skin. In the meantime, I removed the coating with a blue drill bit. And a first mistake here is cracks in the ingrown points. Let's see why they may appear. There are a few causes, and one of them is leaving layers in the ingrown points. We can see that the lower parallel is lifted towards the tip. And since the nails are not strengthened on the sides, they may crack. One may also thin down these areas while filing them. A thin material layer on the sides may also be a cause. Later, I will show you how to fix such a crack. Once I have removed the coating, I file the natural nail to lift up its scales for better bonding. Here must have been a lot of pulling. So now there are liftings in the cuticle zone. I mat them too and remove bigger ones with a hard file. I'd like to point out that most of these mistakes are not the tech's fault, but rather her lack of practice. It's all about practicing. We've all been there and done tons of mistakes with alignment and so on. We all have to learn. It's just that it's easier to get to practicing when one has a theoretical base. One needs that knowledge. I know that it seems easy in the video. Just do a quick pass with a knee file and you're all set. But in fact, there are lots of tiny nuances that in turn make a perfect coating being taken into account. So I always recommend taking professional courses, not just watch video tutorials. Because that's how one gets to the top. And it's also a faster way, so one can start making money. To fix this crack, we need to trim it first using scissors. We can also e-file it. We need to prevent it from getting bigger. Patching it up with gel or acrygel won't be enough, because that's the only way to stop it. Processing the sides, I go over the skin without pushing too hard on the nail. There should be no clinging sounds, because otherwise we will thin down the sidewall, which in turn may lead to cracks in the ingrown points. Next up, I cut the cuticle with scissors. I try to make a uniform cut to prevent hangnails. In case there are tiny ones left, we can polish them using either a sphere or a rounded cylinder drill bit. I'm using a topped cone one, and its rounded surface helps to smooth out the skin. I'm using a red one, so as not to ruin the manicure. Because using a wrong abrasive or pushing too hard, we may cause even bigger hangnails. Done with the manicure, now let's apply adhesive products. A primer to avoid liftings. It shouldn't get on the skin, so I stay away from the crack. I just go around it. I don't apply it too close to the cuticle either. Next, I do a layer of a rubber base coat, because my model's nails are rather soft. Just a thin layer, and I sand it to cure. And to align the nail plate, I'm going to use a harder material. It's a base coat, but a gel will do too. I prefer a base coat because it's more liquid, so it aligns the surface faster. I'm using Rubber Strong by Men, and it's an armor base. It will both bend with the nail and keep its shape at the same time. But first, we need to patch up the crack. I'm using a clear aquagel. I grab a tiny drop and put it next to the crack. Then I spread it. Using a stick soaked in a degreaser or a lining liquid. We can also press it with a brush. Mine is rather liquid, so I'm using a stick. And that's how we patch up the cracks. Now I send the nail to cure. So using the same aquagel, I build them up and slightly pull out the length. I make sure that it doesn't flow under the nail by gently pulling it. Do you like manicure and nail extensions? If you do, join my new online course on nail sculpting, from zero to pro, and get your certificate. The course is available worldwide. For more information, click the link in the description box below. I send the nail to cure, and in the meantime, I align the rest. I cover up the nail, put a drop, and pull it down. I prefer using medium or liquid materials, because they save up my working time. A base coat does all the work, just a couple of moves and that's it. I'm using a conveyor method, doing nails on both hands one by one to save up my time. And on the repaired nail, I'm not trying to even it out, because there is no point in it, since I will file it later. So I just don't waste my time here. Same on the thumb. I don't perfect the coating here yet. Next up, I wipe off the tacky residue and shape the nail. Now I can give the nails the shape I need. I file the surface on the repaired nails, forming the correct architecture. Now the crack is patched up and the nail is even. The thumb is the most uneven, so I need to file it well. I make long moves from left to right. This step is followed up by some excess thickness on the tip, and it's not something to be afraid of or file more, since we can file it out with an e-file. I'm using the same one I did the removal with. Moving on to a colored coating. We have chosen this soft shimmery shade. It's not reflective, just shimmery. And the color is super soft, because that's what my model wanted. It aligns nicely. But we couldn't come up with the nail art. We tried a white stamp in here. It got lost within the glitter. A white gel paint did not look good either. So we decided to keep this color on its own. We can apply it in a thin layer and build it up, or just do one layer. Since it's sheer, it will get cured well. but would never do it with more solid colors, because those will get all wrinkled in the lamp. Now I cover up the nails with a non-tacky top coat by Men, and here's the final look. The nails are all even, and that's what makes the first impression. There are no cracks, so I think the transformation was successful. Share in the comments if you managed to find your mistakes here. Now you know how to fix or avoid them. Don't forget to check out my other videos on manicure mistakes, and I wish you all success in your work. Good luck. Bye bye.